Hey swingers, welcome to Macca's Old School Podcast. Welcome to episode 39.
G'day swingers and welcome to Macca's Old School episode 39. Today is Thursday the 21st of March and we have a very special guest today. Firstly, I'd like to say all the best and hello to Sherry, Ted and Ben in Perth, beautiful WA. I wish you all the best. Sherry, Ted and Ben, love you guys. All the best. And also one more greeting to a great friend of mine, Chef Pete. Good on you, Chef Pete. You're a good man. Thanks very much, mate. Righto, without further ado, we'll get stuck into it. I've mentioned this gentleman before. He's had a bloody interesting life. He's been there, done that. And I'm really happy to have him here today. He's just fresh off the plane. We got him pretty quick. And we're going to have a really great chat about an hour today with our guest. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Ron Isherwood. Good morning, good afternoon, I should say.
How are you, mate?
Thanks very much. Thanks for coming, Ron. Really appreciate it, mate.
Pleasure, mate.
As we usually do on Macca's Old School, we get stuck into it pretty quick on our little show. And basically, I'd like to ask you, mate, start off, and I'm sure you've answered it before, your childhood. I know you're a Victorian lad,
yep.
And we'll start off a bit from there, and your upbringing, a bit about your father,
yeah.
and your lead up into crime and what have you.
Well, mate, to start with, I was born in Victoria
Yep.
in September 1954, which makes me 70 this year.
Shit.
You're
doing well.
My old man was a fighter, boxer, and a buck jump rider.
Ah.
Two pretty hard jobs.
Yeah.
He gave up drink, apparently the day I was born, never drank. Because every time he drank, he'd get into fights.
Yeah, right.
So he was a pretty violent bloke. My grandmother was violent on the drink. And we moved to Melbourne in 1957. So I was 3 years of age. And my first memory is at 3 or 4 years of age, the coppers coming to the house with my old man handcuffed, blood all over him. And he's handcuffed and they've bashed him and they've dragged him into the house at early hours of the morning. And I'm a little boy, 3 or 4 years of age, so you're a kid.
This is terrifying, yeah.
And I remember the bang, bang, bang on the door. Those days they used to smash the door. No, they didn't kick the door in, they just bang, 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 open the door. And anyway, they brought the old man. He's got blood all over him. And I still remember like it was yesterday. It's been a few years ago. I sat up in bed and I went bang, bang to the coppers.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what I was taught.
Yep.
We'd drive past a police car. In those days, cops used to be on push bikes.
Yeah, right.
Coppers would be on push bikes and FJ Holdens.
Yeah.
And little Anglias, I'm talking about 1958, 57, 58.
Yeah.
And we'd drive past me, I mean, I run this cut over, it was just, just filthy fucking spit on them and, just complete hatred like you couldn't believe. So I was brought up with that hatred, and I still remember that day of seeing my father, who was my father and who I loved at the time and who I thought was the best man in the world, handcuffed, being dragged around the house, beaten.
Yeah.
My mother's house turned upside down. So I had an instant hate for police.
Yep.
Fast forward, bang. My old man was a boxer. He trained fighters. So I trained, and my idol was Johnny Famersham.
Yeah.
Lionel Rose. I grew up in that era.
Yeah, right.
We'd go to Festival Hall, watch the fights. We had TV ringside. So I was just really into the boxing, and I loved it. I loved training. I loved sport. I didn't really do much, but I was a criminal. I said to my dad once, someone said, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And my old man said, if you want to fight the police, buy a gun.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was his attitude toward it. And school was for idiots.
Yep.
School was for idiots.
You had plenty of guns at the house.
Always had guns.
Everyone did. Even me in the 70s. Yeah, you had rifles.
We all had rifles.
Yeah.
We all had guns. I always had handguns. At 14 I was carrying a gun on a shoulder holster.
Yeah, fuck.
At 14 I had a machine gun.
Jesus.
At 12 was my first arrest. It was for a major break and enter. It wasn't like most kids get caught stealing. I'd broken into Coles and we'd been there for 3 days over Easter and emptied the joint out. And that was with a crew. I had a crew at 12 years of age.
Fucking hell.
Most of my friends were children or little younger brothers of gangsters of my old man's mates, because you didn't go outside your own circle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Graham Jensen, he was killed by the police in Melbourne. Graham and I grew up together. We called each other cousins, but we weren't really cousins. Everyone used to call I called my old man's mate's uncle.
Yeah, yeah.
And their kids would call my dad uncle, and it was always...
That's what you did back then, or Auntie, what's he next door, uncle, or yeah.
So, Graham Jensen and I, we grew up together, got pinched by the cops for throwing bottles at the police cars.
Yeah, right.
As 10-year-old, 11-year-old kids, so we...
And your dad would have been good on you, mate.
Good on you, mate, yeah. And when I'd break into joints, I'd break into big factories, and I'd climb started off pinching lead off roofs.
Yeah, that's...
Then I realised, well, wait a minute, this is fucking hard work and it's dirty.
Yeah.
Pull on the stripping off the lead. Let's just break into the joint and see what's inside.
Yeah.
And then the old man would say to me, well, if you see a big steel door there or a safe, come and tell me. Then his mates would go and cut the safe or cut the vault. Then I'd get rewarded for that, So that was my introduction to it all.
What happened at 16, Ron?
Well, at 16...
16, reference your guns. And...
I got charged with shooting a couple of gangsters. They'd been at my old man's two-up game. And,
so basically you shot a bloke at 16, by 16.
That's what they're saying. I got found not guilty of that. That's what they're saying. And what happened was, a guy was playing pool with a friend of mine. It's going to sound insane, and it is, but it was $1 a game. This is
Yeah. You put your coin on the table or whatever.
And my mate won the first game. The bloke said double enough, and my mate won the second game. The bloke said double enough, and that's $4.
Yeah.
And my mate came back, and I was in the two-up game, because my man owned the two-up game. I'm in the game, and I'm watching the two-up, and he came back, and he's not me, mate, he's a fucking piece of shit. Anyway, I said, how'd you go? He said, I won 3 games.
Yeah.
Give us the $4, we'll put it on the pennies. We'll back the fucking tail.
Yeah, right.
And he said, he didn't pay me. And I said, what do you mean he didn't pay you?
Yeah,
he said, he never paid me, he told me to fuck off. I said, mate, you can't cop that. So I went to the old man, I said, fucking, got a problem with this bloke. And he said, take the gun over, the 45's behind the counter, just grab the gun and take him downstairs and fucking give him a slap.
Yeah.
And get the $4. So we took
the principle.
Exactly, it was the principle. We took the bloke downstairs. Him and my mate punched on. He was getting over my mate, so I gave him a little slap with the 45 on the head. Give him a slap.
A pistol slap.
So he ran down the road and he yelled out, I know where you live and I know where your family live. I'm going to come back and I'm going to blow your fucking head off.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
I went back upstairs. I said to the old man, he's just threatened to do this. The old man said, jump in the car, let's go. And in the car we had the shotguns. And so him and his 2 mates were walking down the street. And anyway,
it's second nature to your dad. Let's get in the car, come on. Yeah.
2 of them got shot. And cut a long story short, 7 months later, I got arrested for having a shootout with the police with three other men. I was a kid, I was only a boy still. I was 17 at that stage, just turned 17. And my mate that was with me the night that the 2 gangsters got shot gave me up and said, I shot the gangsters, and so I got pinched for that shooting as well.
Fuck, what a prick.
So, and, for him, it was actually for him that the guys got shot. So he gave me up and said, Ronnie shot these 2 blokes, blah, blah, blah. So,
was that another thing you had to sort? Or?
Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah.
And so, cut a long story short, I'm pinched I'm 17 years of age, 17 years and 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm in Pentridge as a kid.
Hardcore.
Pinched with 5 attempted murders.
Yeah.
Because I'm pinched with the coppers shootout and the night watchman. And the old criminals used to tease me and say, mate, in those days, a life lagging was 10 years. That's what a life lagging used to be 10 years. And they used to tease me, and they say, mate, if you're lucky, you get out when you're 150. Because I was pinched with shoot police, use fire and prevent lawful apprehensions, attempted murder of police, shoot the gangster, attempted murder of the gangster, and all this stuff. And
it must have been terrifying, though, Ron, at Pentridge at 17, how did your dad go? Your dad was hooked up, obviously.
Yeah, well, as soon as I got there, I was Ronnie's kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Mate, you got chocolates, because those used to have Toblerone chocolates.
Yeah.
Don't need anything.
Don't ask, yeah.
I know one to come near me, because not just from my dad, but I was pretty. I was pretty open that if you try to sexually abuse me, I'd kill you.
Yeah, fucking oath.
In front of the governor.
Yep.
In front of the judge. It wouldn't matter, because I had no understanding of repercussion.
Yeah.
Because we had no law.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I'm 70 years of age by this stage.
Yep.
I've been an active criminal probably since I was 8, 9.
Yep. Different Australia as well. It's a different time and
different country, different era. I used to walk down the road with a .22 rifle over my shoulder.
Yeah.
As a 10, 12-year-old kid.
Yep.
And get on a train and go out to Sunshine, which was suburb to shoot rabbits and come home with the rabbits.
Yeah.
On a train with a rifle.
Yep.
And the rifle would be in a bag, and I'd have the bag over my shoulder.
Oh, look, I've said before, I even remember in the 80s and stuff, like they used to sell shotties and 22s at Kmart and shit. You used to get ammo, you know, and I used to go into a gun store, Mick Simmons, that was a big place.
Yeah.
I used to go in a gun store and buy 22 rounds and that as a kid in school.
No,
uniform.
I do.
No problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
I do.
Slugs, whatever, slug guns.
Slug guns. Well, I've had slug guns my whole life.
Yep. That's a class 1 licence now to get a fucking slug gun.
I know, I've got one.
A 5-day course or some bullshit.
It's
a slug gun. Like,
you got to go and do a safety course, firearm safety course.
What the hell?
Classes, you got to have a Class A, Class B licence, which is the same rifle for a shotgun, or a 303, or a 357, or a whatever.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
Slug gun, BB gun type thing. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So and so that was that lifestyle. Everything was normal.
Yep.
I went to jail, as I said, in 71, and I got out on bail after about 8 months. And when I got home to the old man's house. He'd moved by this stage. He'd moved to a affluent suburb.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And we got there. We had a 3-bedroom brick veneer house. You know, in those days that was
pretty good.
Pretty flash. You know, an oil heater.
Yeah, right.
A proper garage beside the house. It was on a 1/4 acre block and
flash
suburb. You know, the old man was going all right. Top game was going all right, even though he reckons I ruined it because the bloke got shot that night at the top game, and he reckons the coppers that wasn't anything to do with it. That was another story altogether.
Right. Yep.
He tried to get the Canes. Used to be a couple of brothers called Ray Kane and Brian
Kane.
Yeah,
I know.
They tried to stand over him.
And
Dockers with us, yeah. They tried to stand over him, and
they were pretty tough boys, I believe.
Yeah, they killed a lot. Yeah. They killed a lot of people.
They've done a bit of that, haven't they, with TV and
they got knocked to
underbelly stuff. I think it was.
One of them got shot in his own house, and they took the body away. That was Ray Chuck.
He got fucking machine gunned.
Yeah, over the
with the missus and the kid in the other room. Yeah, shit.
Over the bookies robbery. Because Ray Chuck, they alleged was
they got him over their head.
And then they walked in and shot Ray Chuck handcuffed to the coppers in the middle of the courthouse. And
that's right. Down in the stairs.
Back way, ran out the stairs.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
That was another police setup. You know what I mean? So so that was the life I was brought up in, and in Graham Jensen, you know, like as I said, he got killed by the police, and he's proof that the coppers actually got pinched for murdering him. Then they got found not guilty because they shot him dead and he was unarmed. Then they went to the boot of their car. Yeah. Got an old 22 out that didn't even work. Threw it in his car.
Yeah. You
know, the same as Warren Lee and Frenchie. When Roger Rogerson knocked him.
100%. Yep.
Warren and I are mates. Not many people know this. Warren Lee and Frenchie's father was a gun dealer.
Yep. I've discussed that with John. Yeah. And I didn't realise it until John actually told me.
I told John. Yeah. So they reckon that, you know, he had a faulty weapon. Are you serious?
Yeah, exactly. And it was, 80, 90 years old, 100 years old or something like that. Yeah, it was a faulty weapon. Yeah.
And, you know, he had access to every gun you want. You know, Graham Jensen had a single-shot 22. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
We carried shotguns.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
22's not going to, you know, you shoot a guy in the head with 22 and he's not even going to die unless you do it properly, you know what I mean?
Put a few in his head.
Yeah, you've got to do it properly, you know, you've got to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, cut a long story short, so that's what happened. All them people were dying and people were getting killed. And I got out of jail in 1973, my old man had moved to Sydney.
Yep. So
I moved up here to Sydney and by this stage I was hating my father. It was crazy relationship with me and my dad. I found out some stuff about him that was despicable. You know, he was sexually abusing my older sister.
Oh, fuck.
So I found that out. You know, she's my stepsister. She's still my sister.
Yeah.
And I found out that he'd been sexually abusing her, and I fucking hated him. I did. I just hated him. But I hated him because he used to bash my mother as well. You know.
I was getting to that too. I was going to ask, what was the relationship you had with your mother, and how did your mum put up with what was going on? My mum put up with a lot of shit too.
Mum was just bashed and afraid.
Yep.
Every time she'd leave, he'd just track her down and bash her and take her home.
Yeah, that's fucking
horrible. I remember the coppers coming to our house. This is what I hate about the 60s.
Yep.
The coppers coming to our house.
They didn't give a shit, did they?
No. They'd say, just keep the noise down.
Yeah, it's between you.
It's between you.
And just
keep the noise down.
And she'd be laying there with a fucking nose across her face.
Broken ribs, blood all over her.
Nothing to do with us.
Yeah, nothing to do with us. You just keep them. Tell the cunt to stop screaming.
That's right. That was rife, wasn't it? Right through to the 70s and even early 80s, I think.
It was horrific.
Don't want to know about it.
It was horrific, mate. Yeah. So I at 14, this is a true story. At 14, this is the only regret. You know, I don't have any regrets in my life.
Yep.
Sounds funny. All the shit I've done and all the bad things I've done, sure. You know, am I proud of it? No, I'm not proud of it. But it's fucking happened.
But it happened. That's exactly right. It's history.
I can't change it.
That's right.
Am I going to kick myself over it? No, I'm not, but I'm going to learn by those mistakes.
That's right.
My mum
way moved on.
My old man bashed my mum when I was about 14, I think I was. Because I was still going to school, that's why I say 14. And I ran in and I said to him, fucking stop hitting mum. And I was boxed at the time, I was fighting.
Yep.
Anyway, he knocked me to the ground, then kicked me head, he split all my head open. And then he left. Because he went to the 2-up game. The 2-up game he'd leave home at 6 o'clock at night, he'd get home at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Because the game was all night.
Yep.
And
was he a big, stocky sort of
man was 6'1".
Yep.
Light heavyweight champion of Australia.
Yep.
Yeah. Everyone was terrified.
You look at him, you wouldn't pedal on his boots. Yeah.
Every single person was terrified of him.
Yeah, right.
Violent, horrific. And
he knew it.
And I said to my mum, I said, when he walks in the door tomorrow morning, I'm going to blow his head off, because we had the guns, shotguns and that there. I said, I'll kill him. When the coppers come, you just tell the coppers that he was beating you up, and I saved you.
Yeah.
And my mum didn't say, don't kill your father. She said, he's not worth going to jail for.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I've always regretted that, because I often think, if I'd have knocked him that night, I might have got a couple of years, maybe not, under the circumstances. You know, this is 1960 something, 68. You know, 1968. I don't know if they would have, because I was a child and all that. I might have only got a couple of years. I still think about this.
Yeah.
And my life might have went into the trajectory it did go into.
Fucking hell.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you don't know really. That's the only regret I have, that I never killed him.
Yeah. Jesus.
Because my life after that, it did spiral out of control. Because in 1973, I came home from I went from Pentridge to a boys' home because the judge said, "What's a 17-year-old boy doing in Pentridge?"
Yeah, exactly.
I got found not guilty of the attempted murders.
Yep.
And then I got found guilty of a break and enter where the coppers came out to shoot out.
And this happened a bit, what you just said. What's a 17-year-old doing in Pentridge Swingers? This happened a bit, because I spoke to Russell Manser a few times,
Russell
and he got it too,
John had it too.
And he was fucking sexually molested, and it was fucking disgraceful. But the judge should be flogged and locked up. It was fucking unbelievable.
Accessory before and after the fact.
Oh.
So anyway, I come up to Sydney. My mum passed away not long after I got to Sydney.
Yeah.
And
how old was she, right?
Mate, young.
Yeah. Broken spirit too.
Yeah, that's what she died of, a broken heart.
Yep.
She died of a broken heart. She had a heart attack and died. I got the same artery. I got stitched in the same artery that killed her.
Yeah, right.
And so it's a hereditary thing. I got my mum's heart. That's why I help people. And
as
soon as mum died, within months after my mother passing away, I had a needle in my arm with heroin.
Yep.
You know, I'd never taken drugs. I first got introduced to drugs in jail.
I was going to get to that, your addiction, not in jail?
Not at that time, no.
Yeah.
Look, there was hardly any drugs in jail those days. They put me on a thing called Largactil, which is a psych drug. And it was to control you. It was like
an antidepressant type thing?
No, it was like a little lobotomy. Completely zonked you out.
Numbed you out.
Yeah, just fucking walked around dribbling.
Yeah, right.
They used to call it the Largactil shuffle.
Fucking
you didn't walk, you just shuffled.
You just fucking, yeah.
And you've got to remember, I'm 7 stone fucking ring and wet.
Yeah. I'm
not a big guy, you know. I mean, in those days, I was like a little kid.
Yep.
And they had to fucking drug me to control me. Come on.
Yeah. They didn't give a fuck, did they?
Yeah. He stand on my toe and tell me to get in the room. But anyway, I started using heroin. The minute I started using heroin, so my old man hated 2 things. Drug addicts?
Yep.
And tattoos.
Yeah, right. And you've got a few tats, mate.
I've got a couple.
You got a few tats.
I've got a couple. And, I got a full bodysuit and I was a heroin addict. So it's not hard to work out what I was rebelling against.
Yeah.
And once I started using the heroin, the painters and dockers kicked me out, basically.
Yep.
I become untrustworthy because they thought all junkies were dogs and give-ups and scumbags and, a lot of them are, but a lot of them are too.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, I mean, they haven't got a fucking...
Yeah.
Did
you go in there with that first time you used it, I'll just have a try?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I loved it.
I
loved it. The minute I had it, what it did, it numbed.
Yep.
Numbed the fear, numbed the hatred, numbed the anxiety, numbed the not fitting in. Because I never fitted into society because I was never in society.
Yeah, that's right.
I was 27 years of age before I got my first driver's licence.
Oh, fair dinkum,
Before I ever voted. Yeah. I was actually older before I voted. I was 27 when I got my licence.
You were driving though, weren't you?
Always.
Just without a licence, yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I was only going to lose it anyway.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
But heaps of people did, didn't they?
Well, we drove. I drove in this area here.
Yeah.
I drove around here. I got pulled up just up the road up here one day, full of pot.
Yeah.
And they pulled me over because I was going so slow, because I was so stoned.
Yeah.
I seen the Charger behind me, and I was like, oh fuck. Next thing they
when they had the Chargers.
the light came on.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it.
And they pulled me over, not about licence, and they said,
you got your licence? Yeah.
we got your licence. And in those days, it used to be a piece of paper. It didn't have a photo on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I was using my sister's boyfriend at the time's name.
Yeah, right.
He said, yeah, what's your name? I said, Paul Michael Rapper.
Yep.
He said, what's your date of birth? And I give him the date of birth. And he came back and he said, you got warrants. You're under arrest. I had to go back out the bay and do 3 days. He had 3 days worth of warrants.
Well, you didn't know about your things.
Yeah. And when I got out, the screws were like, what are you doing here, Ron?
Yeah.
It's quite a funny story, really. But it's a true story. It's a funny story, you know. You can't make that shit up, you know. I gave a bodgy name and I had to go out and cut it out in warrants. Now it says on my police record, also known as Paul Michael Rapper, you know. But yeah, so I got on the heroin. The painters and dockers sort of coded me a lot. You got to remember, the painters and dockers are a powerful force.
Oh, they were.
You know,
You didn't mess with
even these days,
Yep.
You know.
And in Victoria, Melbourne, they were
But even
strong.
even up here, they were still, a lot of the old blokes were still in control of the system. Like, you didn't get a job on the wharf unless you were sweet, unless you were okay and you were, you know,
Yep.
in the gang. You know, you didn't get a book, you didn't get it. And when I came up here in '73, they gave me a book, and my book was under the name of Alan Gamble.
Right.
And I said to the bloke that was the secretary, I said, "What's Alan Gamble?" He said, "You are a gamble." A Gamble.
A Gamble. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's my name. You're A Gamble. Yeah, so that was the name I worked under for up here for a little while. But the drugs just took control of my life. Straight away I became a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't work anymore.
Pretty quick going to, like, was it long before you were still on a couple of shots a day, or what happened there?
Mate,
accelerated pretty quick?
Yeah. You got to remember, this is 1974.
Yep.
No understanding of addiction.
Yep.
No education.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know there was such a thing as a drug addict.
Yeah.
I was selling pot.
Yep.
Was buying £100 of pot.
Yeah, shit.
For
which was bloody common. A lot of people did.
$100 a pound.
Yeah, $100 a pound.
$100. That's what we used to get it for, $100 a pound.
Then
we'd sell it for $25 an ounce. Yep. You work out, you do the numbers. It was good money.
Very profitable.
It was very profitable. We were kids. You know, I was like 20 years of age. Driving the GD Falcon. My mate's driving a brand new Monaro. My other mate's driving a brand new Charger. The gold
drinking,
chains,
smoking,
the flares. You know, all the shit. You know, getting on the acids. Taking some trip and going to the black light discos and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it was all fun and games. Then heroin became involved.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the bright light stopped, and I started staying at home. And I remember saying to my girlfriend at the time, "How come no one comes around?" She goes, "Why would they? You sit on the fucking couch nodding off all day. You know, just sitting on the couch burning yourself with cigarettes."
And that was the thing, wasn't it? So I remember up the cross, I mean, all the working girls up in the 70s and 80s, they were just there purely because they're on heroin, on smack. And that's what they were doing. It was $20 or whatever, and they were up there all day. And they're fucking, like you said, they're on the nod. Yeah, all the time. They're on the nod sort of thing. And
I used to love the girls up the cross. It used to be so funny.
I used to be addicted to the cross.
I used to say to them, you know, I don't know how you can fucking be standing on a corner on that angle. You know, they're either leaning all the way back or
off
leaning
their face.
And as you walk past, it was like a radar. You know, like them lights that come on when you walk past. Like, you want a girl, love? You know, man? At 4 o'clock in the morning, walking down William Street.
They were fucking everywhere,
you want a girl, love?
Burke Street and William Street. They were everywhere. There was some absolute glamours there, but it was sad. They were all the working girls were on the heroin, you know.
I'll tell you a quick story. Her name was Gypsy. Do you remember a girl called Gypsy up the cross?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
She was an older woman. She was, and I said, she had a pimp. And I said to her one day, I said, "This is a fucking trick." I was selling her smack. And she said, I said, "Why you got this pimp?"
Yeah.
She said, "Darling," because I was a kid, because darling, when I wake up in the morning, I look across and I think, at least there's one piece of shit lower than me on this earth.
Fuck.
I went, whoa, okay.
Right, Gypsy.
Yeah. I just never forget that. When she said that to me, and I thought, wow, you know.
There was so many characters, wasn't there, Ron, up there as well, you know, for years. It was that witch lady that was up there for years as well. There was Animal, the biker bloke. I think he died many years ago. But you know,
there was a lot of money up there too. A lot of the old crims snuck up there.
Yep.
and they weren't drug dealers, they were drunks. They were
Yep.
on the piss, and they started selling heroin through the.
Yep.
You know, they had little trap houses, what we call trap houses these days, little houses.
Yep.
Where they have a couple of junkie shielders working in there, passing the dope out the windows, and
Yeah, right. Yeah.
you know, they were just
Have
basically.
you been up there recently? It's gone.
I haven't
it's
been up there.
Gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't been up there. I've heard it's got nothing up there.
It's nothing. We did a show up there last year, just before Christmas, sort of thing. And we've done a couple of bits up there, and it's just nothing. It's just like a suburban suburb. Now there's like one gentleman's club, I think, and a sex shop, and that's about it. There's fuck all.
I think what happened was, from my information, after all the police corruption came out,
Yep.
and all the McNamara and all them fucking pieces of shit all got pinched and all give each other up, which they always do.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And the punch thing, there was a couple of the one punch things. I don't think that helped.
Yeah.
That helped shut down things and clubs and
And you know, like, let's be honest, there was only one good operator up there.
Yep.
That was young Johnny Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, yeah.
He was the only good operator.
He's a smart fella.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, smart fella. Yeah.
Mate, right?
I've seen him, I don't know him.
I've known him since he was a little kid.
Yep.
Since he first took on the tunnel. And everyone that calls him a drug dealer are fucking liars.
Yep. Yep.
He's not a drug dealer.
He's a pretty fit sort of bloke, really.
He's not a fucking drug dealer. He's not.
Yeah.
He's look, mate. I'd know. I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know who my competition was or who my customers were.
He's a smart operator there for a long
He's
time.
a very good operator,
you know.
mate. Look, he's a really smart guy.
I'd love to see the Cross get some vamp going again, and
Yeah.
you know, and
His
did you
brother
have some
Sam-
nights at the Gazebo Hotel and things like
Yeah,
that? And
the Gazebo, the Texas
that's been
Tavern.
apartments, Texas Tavern.
Yeah, the beefsteak
Oh,
bourbon.
yep, that's gone.
I used to be there
That's
all
gone.
night. It used to be 20. It was the only job that was open 24 hours a
It
day.
was. You could get a steak
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the morning off your
Exactly.
face, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone now.
Sweethearts,
And,
breakfast of sweethearts, and
and the strippies. I dated Madame Butterflies years
Yeah.
ago, briefly. You know, one of the strippies there, and
Yeah.
it's all gone. You know,
the young bloke up there used to have the Cosmopolitan. His name was Peter Kay, a Greek guy.
right? Yep.
He was actually a nice guy. He hung himself.
Uh,
He ended up getting on the drugs and just fucking his life up, and ended up by killing himself.
see
in
any
jail,
way out.
apparently. Yeah, he couldn't see a way out, and that's why, you know, I got to the point where, you know, I was always involved in the drug trade, and I got clean, as I said, we got clean in 81.
Yep.
Roger Rogerson just knocked Warren Lamb Frenchie.
Yep.
It kidnapped another bloke who was a known police informant, which I didn't know at the time. And him and I, the police informant and I had been together and went and sold some stuff at a pawn shop up there.
Yeah. Right.
And Rogerson got word that him and I were together.
Yep.
So he actually caught this bloke and he tortured him to find out where I was.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
I'd already been pinched. I was actually on remand. And that was when Graham got shot out of North Sydney.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
Graham was only had all the fucking bandages on his face where the glass hit him in the face where they shot him through the windscreen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the show before. Yeah,
well,
we
him
just
and I-
done that recently.
Yeah, him and I were in the hospital together.
Yeah, right.
I was in the
yeah.
hospital with hepatitis C. I was bright yellow
Needles and-
from the
yep,
needles.
Yep.
We didn't even know what it was those days.
Yep.
And the system was so corrupt. People can't even believe this is a true story. I'm in Long Bay Jail.
Yeah.
In the hospital in the jail. A young doctor comes in and goes, "Oh, I want to do a liver biopsy on you." I'm a junkie.
Yep.
I'm like, "Fucking yeah. Well, what am I going to get for it?"
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Right.
said, "Oh, I'll give you some Valium." And I said, "How much?" He said, 10 milligrams of Valium or something. He said, "Shit." And I said, "No, not enough."
Yeah.
He said, "How much do you want?" So this is a true story. We negotiated the amount of Valium
Make it worth your
to
while.
make it worth me while to let him to go inside and do a liver biopsy of me. I mean, he did. We negotiated the fucking drug that I wanted. And I said, "I want Fortral with it," which was another drug, mixed with it. I said, and you can do the biopsy.
Yeah, right.
So he said, "Yeah, all right, sweet." So he's fucking give me a shot, done the biopsy. This is in the jail hospital. It's a fucking, you know. And Graham was in the other ward with bandages all over his head, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And, you know.
Well, they set him up
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
situation too. That was only the previous episode. We
Yeah.
went down there. It was Mount Street,
Yeah,
Mount Street,
exactly,
North
yeah,
Sydney,
yeah.
where the pub used to be. It's a burger joint now,
Okay,
or whatever.
yeah.
It's changed that
So
much.
we were there and he said, "They tried to knock me." He said, "They ran up and shot him, put it right
Yeah,
against the
yeah.
window."
He's
said,
fucking.
"If I'd
He's
have
so
laid
lucky,
down-"
Graham. He didn't get blinded by it. He's so lucky.
He had all glass in his fucking face.
Yeah, yeah.
He said,
he
"If
said
I'd have
that.
laid down, I'd be
Yeah.
dead, mate." He said, "My head would have got blown off."
Yep. And
Yeah.
then he said to me, he said, "Oh, you know, they go to plant a pistol." He said, "There's one in the console, like you know, whatever. There's one under the seat or in the
Yeah,
console or
yeah,
something rather."
yeah.
Like, you know, and so there's no point in you planting one. You know,
exactly.
and that was again, they always plant an old defective piece of crap,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And,
Yeah. Graham, you know, that was when I first met Graham. So
Yep.
from there, and then my life just got worse. And as I said, till 1981, then that Roger was looking for me, and I went to rehab.
Yep.
And that's where the journey started. And what happened for me was, while I was in rehab, I got this thing called empathy and compassion. Didn't ever know what they
Never
were.
had it before.
Never had it.
It's like a
Never had it.
new thing for you. Yeah.
Never had it.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
The actual feeling for somebody else.
Yep.
I never had it. I never had the ability. My mum passed away when I was 19.
Yeah.
I went to her funeral, and this is sad to say this, but it's honest. I've got to tell the truth. I'm not going to come on here and talk shit. I couldn't fucking cry.
Yeah, it did.
I was so detached from my emotions because my old man, because as a kid he used to bash me.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
And
that's it.
then I'd cry, and then he'd bash me for crying.
Yeah, right.
So I got to the point where you'd never make me cry.
Fucking hell.
And I remember standing at my mother's funeral, and they're lowering the coffin, and this piece of shit dives on the grave and throws himself on the grave. Oh, I love you, I love you.
Your old man?
Yeah, fucking piece of
Yeah,
shit.
after he's flogged her for
and,
how long?
And I was standing there thinking, I've got to cry. I couldn't cry. And I was so detached. So I went to this rehab and I actually learnt to cry.
Yeah, fucking
It was really funny. It was like, and I didn't cry for me, I cried for another
That's
bloke
unbelievable, isn't it?
who was wanted for 2 murders, and he'd come into the rehab to hide, and he came there because he knew I was there.
Yep.
And he said, oh, I'm wanted for 2 murders. He said, fuck, what am I going to do? I said, just stay here, blah, blah, blah. Cut a long story short, he woke up a couple of days later, wanted to go because he had the compulsion to use drugs.
Yep.
And he said, mate, I'd rather be dead than stay in this joint with all these dogs and, and all that shit and all this tough guy we used to do.
Yep.
You know, only fucking tellers get well and all, it's just, And so the truth of the matter was, he was walking down the driveway going back to where I knew he was going to, and I started crying. I was like, fuck, and it was like unconditional, like crying, like I couldn't control it.
Uncontrolled sobbing, yeah.
And something broke, and I didn't stay clean for that day.
That's good though. That you got that emotion, mate. After your mum passed, how long? What happened to your dad, mate? What was the last of there? Whatever you done?
Mate, he was just Look, he was just a piece of shit. That he got another shield, and he got another shield and pistol whipped her with a gun, and she rang the coppers on him. He was just a horrible guy. You know what I mean?
And the thing is too, when you're big and tough in life and whatever, and your father was, there's always someone out there that's bigger and tougher, and one day you're going to get old, and you're not going to be big and tough. Yeah. Age does catch you,
Well, he was smart. He got away. He went and lived in Canley Vale.
Yeah, right. Yep.
In a little fucking 3-bedroom weatherboard home.
Yep.
And he sat there for probably 35 years. Never painted it. The joint, the fucking hot water system broke down.
Okay.
So his wife would be boiling pots on the fucking stove like we used to do in the 60s.
What did he live into his 80s or something? Or
77.
77, yeah, right.
And he died
in the armchair?
12 years ago, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
15 years ago, something like that.
Fucking
he died. But yeah, horrible human being. Just a nasty person. You can't even put words into it. I say it all the time,
My biological was similar. Yeah.
I've spent 15 years or something in prison, which I say with shame, not with fucking not being. It's not cool. It's not cool being in prison.
Yeah.
It just tells you you're not good at what you do.
Yeah.
And that's it's embarrassing to say you spent that many years in prison. For me, and I'd never met anyone as evil as him.
Yeah, right.
And I've been in there with all of them. All the psychos, and all the mass murderers and the really, really bad motherfuckers that are killing people in prison and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's funny, shit, it's not funny, but I seem to become friends with most of the hardest guys in the systems.
Yep.
And, I don't know what it is, but, I guess it's because I have that same mentality that, I won't bend and I won't break.
Yep.
It just is what it is. I'm not a tough guy. I've never found to be a tough guy.
Stoic, mate.
I cut your head off if you fucking.
Yeah.
You touch my family, I'll cut your head off.
But I want to get to something happening in 2002. But before then, I've got to ask you something.
Yep.
So we're going 77, 78, Milton Island.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you this because it's fucking. This is a cracker. What happened at Milton Island, Ron?
Well,
that was a prison. That was a prison farm.
Yeah,
thing,
on the Hawkesbury. It's a prison farm on the Hawkesbury. I'd been there before. I manipulated the classification board to tell them that I didn't have any more court cases, and I did. And the poor old fucking head of Classo, Ian Schubert, he was the top screw out at MRP at Long Bay.
Yep.
And he's known me since I was a kid. He's known me since I was in.
What you grow up?
I was in jail with my old man with him in the same unit in 10 wing, back in the fucking very early 70s.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "What are you going to do, son?" I said, "Oh, Mr. Schubert, can I go back up the island?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, I can't see why not." Yeah. So he fucking sent me out the island, and I escaped. What happened was I'd got on the pot that night, smoking a few joints,
So it wasn't high security?
No, it's
you worked it out pretty good?
What happened is, it's 7 o'clock at night, the screw would lock himself into his own area, and we'd all walk around the island all night.
Fucking hell.
We'd have blokes come up and boat.
So he was right, he was safe, and if someone
safe.
wanted something, they'd just come up and...
Exactly. Yeah, well, Steve Niddies, he was an ex-paediatric doctor, right?
Yeah.
Well, Steve was in charge of medical there. He was the medical staff there. So if anyone got hurt, Steve had fucking had the medicine there. Patch you up and all that stuff. Well, what happened was, I got on the pot and I got this bright idea, because I was always been really fit.
Yeah.
And I thought, fuck this, I'm going to get some drugs, you know, I want to get stoned.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll swim off the island, because it's only about 6 kilometres.
It's still a fair
down the Brooklyn Bridge.
It's still a fair swim.
Yeah, I got a lot of confidence. And
I
thought, I'll swim down to the bridge. This is what my brain told me.
Yeah.
I'll swim down to the bridge, I'll climb up the Brooklyn Bridge, I'll hitchhike into the cross.
Yep.
Rob some drug dealers.
Yeah.
Get a train back to Brooklyn. And swim back.
Why not? As you do. Yeah.
But someone forgot to tell me about the tide. Fuck. The water has the river's a tidal river.
Yeah.
It's got a tide. So I'm coming in. I come in the water. I dropped off the end of the island. I had a garbage bag with clean clothes in it, and my cigarettes. I smoked those days.
Yeah.
And I had it wrapped around a belt so it could
Keep
float.
It water tight,
it
tight
was
thing,
tight, and then I had a belt around my waist so we could float. Whether I'm backstroke or side stroke, the bag just rolls around me.
So you just told the other blokes, I'm going to get some drugs for us.
I got some money off some blokes. I said, you got some cash? Yeah, give me some drugs. Yeah, give me some money and I'll fucking score for us. We're going and get on.
Did they sort of say, fucking hell, you sure? You fucking, you know.
No, they just gave me the money. They said, yeah, sweet, mate. Yeah. They thought I'd do it. And I thought I'd do it. Fucking, it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
But the tide was coming in.
Yeah, right.
It was, when I went out, it was a mud flat.
Yep.
Because it was fucking low tide.
Yep.
As I've gone to the water, I'm starting to swim.
It's got deep. Yeah.
I'm starting to swim. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm thinking, what the fuck?
So you're going against the current.
I'm going against
in
the current.
Water.
In deep water. And I'm halfway down, 3 kilometres down, and I'm looking around like, I'm not getting any closer to this fucking bridge, and I'm swimming.
And I'm getting tired too.
I'm starting to go side stroke, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. Well, I got off by the time I went in 11 o'clock at night, I got out of the water, I think it was 5 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, fucking
So it was 6 hours in the water to go 6
You are
days.
lucky you were fit, mate, because a lot of people could be exhausted and drown.
Yeah, I was exhausted. I remember laying on my back and doing the floater and swimming like that.
I mean, there's another thing that pops into my head. You've got Hawkesbury River, which connects to the ocean, and it's muddy. It's full of bull sharks. They've been breeding there for years.
We'd been catching them there.
You know, that's the only part of the plan that I would have been hesitant, because I kayaked for years and I've had a few shark things, and fucking hell.
And I was full of pot, which made it worse, because sometimes I'd be swimming and that bag would hit me on the leg.
So
I'd go like, oh, what the fuck was that? You know?
Yeah. Is there something happening?
And it's frightened the shit out of me, and I'd laugh because I'm swimming, and I start swimming again.
And the water gets deep with the tide. Yeah.
It was a big place. So I climbed up the wall. To get up to the top of the wall, it was like a mountain climb to get up to the Brooklyn Bridge, because it's fucking straight like that. And I started hitchhiking, and some young fellas pulled up. It was funny, an old Holden station wagon. They're potheads.
Oh, perfect.
And they've got me in the car. They, where are you going, mate? I said, I'm going to Horns. And I'm thinking, I hope I don't get pulled. And the car was unroaded. I'm thinking, I hope I don't get pulled over. They said, what are you doing? Why are you running down the highway hitchhiking at this hour of the morning? You know?
I'm just taking
I said, my car broke down.
Yeah.
So my car's broke down. I've got to get to town. So anyway, so I went straight to King's Cross, robbed the drug dealer that morning, got me drugs, and got pitched in there 28 days later.
Do they do a roll call or some sort of check at some stage?
6 a.m.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so by the time I'd got to the city, I was an escapee.
Yeah.
So I was earning escapee.
So what happened? So you got back?
No, I didn't get back.
You just went, fuck it.
As soon as I got to the cross, I just went and scored and said, fuck it, I'm an escapee.
Yeah.
And, I didn't escape to run away. I escaped to get some drugs. And so I just stayed up the cross.
Partied.
Yeah, I stayed in empty houses, and I remember one night I'm sleeping in this on a mattress, and I looked down and there's this drag queen down the end of the bed, and I'm there with this shield. It's my new girlfriend, because I've just pulled some poor girl that's working girl off the street.
Yeah.
She's my new fucking hostage.
Yeah.
And we're laying on the bed together, and I'm looking down, and the drag queen's pretending to be asleep with one eye open, and I went, oh fuck, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Oh fuck no. Yeah.
But that's what active addiction is. That's what using on the streets is. You know, it's just doing silly things, making bad mistakes, making bad choice after bad choice, and expecting different results. And then the part that I always try to get back to is that after I went to rehab and I got this spiritual awakening, if you want to call it, an awakening of my spirit, which was love, understanding, forgiveness.
Yep.
I never stayed clean straight away, but in 1986, on the 3rd of March 1986, I haven't touched a drug since that day.
Yeah, you've been clean.
And
but you were still involved in crime. You were clean from drugs, but not necessarily out of crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was clean from drugs. I was clean from crime. You know, but when I say it's clean from crime, the violence. I'd stop the violence.
Yep.
And I'd become.
Your head's clearing and shit too.
My head had cleared. I wasn't on the drugs, and I got involved in trafficking. Mm-hmm. But I also got involved in gem smuggling. I became a smuggler.
Yep. Yeah, right.
And I started off with gem smuggling, and then
which I believe was pretty big.
Yeah, it was massive.
Look, back then.
India couldn't buy gold. We'd take gold to India.
Yeah,
then I'd go from India across to Sri Lanka, and I'd buy Sri Lankan sapphire, which is the Ceylonese sapphire, best sapphire in the world. Brazil, best ruby in the world. Just so happens, but the trouble is, Sri Lanka's a stop-off point for all the smugglers.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was over there buying sapphire, and this is what happened to me.
See, this is scary shit too, because different country, different fucking laws. And
when I was there too, it was the middle of the Tamil War.
Yeah, right.
There was dead bodies on the street everywhere. I was there when they blew the railway station up and killed the politicians. I was there the day it happened.
You heard the bomb.
I was there. The whole fucking building shook. I was in the Hilton Hotel and it all shook. You know, the day before I'd been at a place called Hickadua, and there was 2 dead bodies laying on the ground with coal burns all over where the coppers had burnt them.
Yeah.
In the fire, they killed them and then burnt them. They said they were Tamil tigers. And I said to the lady, why aren't they allowed to move the bodies? Why doesn't someone? She said, no, the police put them there so that everybody can see what happens if you become a rebel. The very next day, 2 coppers were killed and their heads were stuck on sticks on the beach.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, and I'm clean. By this time, it was 1987 or 88, so I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But in that same time, I met a couple of guys that I was buying gemstones off, and they said, come to our place, we're going to show you something. And they took me to a room that was as big as this, a bit higher, full of cocaine, full of heroin.
Oh, fuck.
And then a room that was twice as big as this, full of hash.
Oh, wow. Hash was big. Yeah. Hash was big in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, Victor Spinks was...
It sort of disappeared off the Sydney scene, but 80s and 90s,
got arrested.
Fucking everywhere. Yeah, it was bloody everywhere.
They used to get tons and tons and tons of it.
Yeah.
5 ton at a time and things like that.
We used to do a bit of that as kids, and we just spot a bit on the stove and, you know.
In the red cellophane, each kilo was in red cellophane, each pound was in red cellophane.
It was rampant, it was everywhere.
Yeah, especially around this area, it was massive.
And hash oil as well.
So you don't even hear of that anymore.
No, it totally disappeared. When we were bad young in the 80s, but everyone was smoking Winnie Blues and stuff, and we'd go to the shops at Hornsby and put a bit of hash oil on the end of the Winnie Blue and just walk around. Ooh, this is lovely.
I just sit on the plane and do it. Yeah, I'd sit on the plane.
Because you could smoke in shops and,
I'd get
and all
a toothpick.
that stuff.
I'd just run along the edge of the smoke.
Yeah.
I'd sit on the plane, smoke, and I'd be fucking snatching my head on
this is beautiful.
Smoking hash. On the plane, you know, like, did you allow to smoke?
Class it is.
Make your flight a lot quicker.
So you said too, mate, you got into a bit of prohibited substance distributing, coke and what have you.
Yeah.
What happened in 2002? We'll move forward a bit, if I can ask you. What happened there, mate? Because that was a big change with you.
Yeah, in 2001, I had a mate come to me, an ex-associate, that I was a bad guy with.
Yep.
I'm not a victim. I'm not going to come on your show or any other show and pretend I'm a victim.
Yeah.
I was an organised crime person.
Yep.
You know, I was into organised crime, and I didn't go out and sell dope to someone on the street.
Yep.
You know, someone on the street doesn't have $100,000.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, those days coke was $100,000. Now it's 250 or something.
Yeah.
You know, but those days, you know, like a mate came to me and he said, "I fucked up. I've lost a heap of dope in Argentina." He said it went missing off the carousel. He said, and the guys in Brazil won't give me any more tick because he's been mucking them around.
Yeah.
He said, will you tell them that you'll back it? And he already owed me $100,000, this bloke too.
Yeah, right.
He said, and I'll give you 300,000.
Yep.
Just to come and say, give him some more and I'll back it up.
Yeah.
I went to Brazil, told him, fix him, he's all right, he's good, he'll fix it.
Yep.
6 months later, they're still mucking around.
Oh.
Still mucking around because unbeknownst to me, he's using. He told me he wasn't, but he's using. So when someone's using, they're unmanageable.
Go through a garbage bag of the shit.
And I get a phone call on a phone that the guy shouldn't have even had my number, and he says, "Hello, Pintado," and I knew who it was.
Yep.
And I said, "Muito difícil," which is Portuguese. It's too difficult.
Yep.
Do not fucking talk to me.
Yep.
And I hung up on him.
Yep.
And he goes, "Where's Chico?" I said, "Mate, see you later." He rings this other guy and says, "Oh, I've just rang up Pintado and he's really pissed off with me. This guy rings me and goes, "Oh, Claudio just rang you from overseas. He said he's sorry, mate. He shouldn't have even rang your number."
Yep. And
I'm like, "Mate, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't even have my number. Fuck off." And I hang up, right?
Yeah.
Those 3 phone calls got me 18 years.
Yeah, fuck.
Because all these other conversations that I wasn't involved with, where people were talking about a guy called Pintado.
Yeah.
Pintado, don't fuck Pintado around. He's given his word. Don't fuck Pintado around. Last time he's fucked him around, 2 years went missing. This conversation's not a very good conversation.
No,
You know what I mean? They're saying people are being missing and all this shit.
Plenty of ears around.
Well, what happens, we get arrested for a conspiracy to import cocaine. I get found guilty. He pleaded guilty, the bloke. And he was supposed to come to court and stand up and say, "I didn't know. I thought it was gemstones." But he did a deal with the coppers and didn't do it. For whatever reason. It's because of his reason. But when they've given... I didn't know about this conversation being taped. The 3 conversations. Three conversations there.
Lots of ears. Yeah.
So that was already under recording, under a thing. They made all this evidence about this Pintado.
And all this has resulted from the bloke that originally was in debt. And,
exactly. And the prosecution said to me, "Can you listen to these 3 conversations?" He said, what does Pintado mean, Mr. Isherwood? I said, "I would never fucking clue."
Yeah.
And he stood up and he goes, "Pintado, the painted man."
Yeah.
He said, "Pintado is a fish in the depths of Brazil that looks like it has patterns all over it, like it's got tattooed. Would you like to stand up and take your shirt off, Mr. Isherwood?" And I said, "No, I wouldn't." He said, "You don't have to. I have photos here of you at the beach."
Yeah. Oh, we've got it covered. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
And Pintado means painted man. Fuck. And because of my voice and everything else.
Yeah.
So I got I got found guilty. And it's going to sound stupid. And it probably is stupid, and I am stupid. But I had 3 co-accused, guys that worked for me.
Yep.
That were all charged with me, all got found not guilty.
And I
was the only one that got found guilty.
Sacrificial lamb.
And when I got found guilty, I went downstairs and Terry O'Gorman, who was the head lawyer, he came downstairs and he said to me, "I'm so sorry, Ron, I'm sorry," because he got involved. He knew I had a beautiful wife and new children and all that, new child. And he said to me, "I'm so sorry." And I said, "Terry, they didn't win." Because that was still my attitude.
Yeah.
They didn't win.
It's not over.
He said, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, we'll appeal it first." I said, "But 3 of my motions just got found not guilty."
Yeah.
I said, "So they got 1 out of 4.
1 out of 4. Yeah.
So that's not a win.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and shook his head. He said, "You don't think right."
Hell.
So you don't think right. But to me, I thought right.
What was that? So 18 years. Yeah. What happened there?
You have to serve half your federal.
Yeah. Right.
So.
But that was a change. That was 2002.
Yeah, that's when everything changed for me. What happened was, they took a lot of money off me, the system, for Proceeds of Crimes Act. The lawyers charged me $680,000.
Yeah, fuck.
My wife, who was an American, went back to America, took my 6-year-old daughter with her.
Yeah.
So, what I lost
out of
all that stuff was I missed out on watching my daughter come from 6 to 16.
Yeah.
When I came out of prison.
And your missus.
Into that, I got a better one.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I got a better missus.
You traded up.
Yeah, I traded up. I did. Don't get me wrong, she was a good person. She didn't know that she'd married a criminal.
Yeah.
My wife didn't know I was a criminal.
Yeah, right.
You don't tell a woman that stuff.
Yeah, it's not on your resume, really, is it? Yeah.
But why would you put her in that harm?
Yeah.
Guys that tell their missus what they do are selfish.
Exactly right. Yeah.
They're either big noting.
Yep.
Or they're afraid.
Yep. Yeah.
Or they're selfish. You don't put yourself in that position.
Lots of people have said the same, Graham and others.
It's about your missus
know nothing,
business,
don't know anything. Just keep her out.
When I was a bad guy running around shooting people, I wouldn't go and shoot in front of someone's missus.
Yep.
There's no way.
Yeah,
There's no way. I wouldn't go and shoot someone's house.
Yeah.
Fucking houses don't shoot back. These blokes that shoot up houses.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. So where did they ship you off, Ron? For 2002 you went
2002 I was in Queensland. I went to a place called Woodford. I sat there for a few years, which was the maximum security prison. I never went to anywhere else. I stayed in maximum. Then I went to a place called Barellan, and the GM there believed in recovery.
Yeah, and that's where he sounds all right, doesn't he?
He's a good bloke. Mate, I still see him.
You're still, yeah.
He's retired. He lives in London.
Yeah. Oh, he's in London. Yeah, right.
He's from Serco. Serco owned the jail.
Yep.
And he said to me, I hear really good things about you. They call me the Pied Piper of recovery in jail.
Yep.
You blow your tune and they follow you.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of respect in the system because I was clean.
Yep.
I still didn't take no shit from anybody.
Yeah.
the screws or the crimps.
Yeah.
You know, when I have crimps come and go, oh, you're ruining our sales. I say, no, I'm not. Listen, stop. Yeah. If they want to use, that's your business.
That's up to you.
If they want to stop, that's my business.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm not forcing anything on it. Yeah, I'm not.
You don't come and recruit.
I haven't got a gun to anyone's head. If you want to get help, come and talk to me.
My attitude was, mate, if your guys want to use, that's your business. Yep. If they want to stop, if they want to get off the drugs, that's my business.
Yeah.
And I started helping people, and I started really taking care of my own recovery. And because I was only 16 years clean when I went to jail, I just really reassessed who I am and what I want to be.
Yep.
Not who I was.
Yeah, yeah.
And I realised who I was is not who I am.
Yeah.
And I say to people, and I say it all the time, if you want to judge me from my past, it's like breaking into a house I used to live in. I'm not there.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm not
that's
there
right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Don't break into a house I used to live in.
That's right.
None of that furniture is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've said it a million times. Name someone that hasn't made mistakes. Name someone that hasn't had a past.
Yeah.
It's two sides to every coin, you know, and you've got to give someone another shot, you know.
And so, mate, I came out of jail in 2012, met my beautiful wife that I'm with now. We're having our 10-year anniversary on the 30th of this month. We've been together 12 years since I come home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fantastic.
I have a beautiful 8-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Yeah, good on you.
I've started my life all over again. I've worked hard. I built a car company you and I talked about.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, so after you got out, you went into car restorations.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't let me go back into the jury at first. The parole board said, you can't go into jury.
Yep.
You can't go back into drug and alcohol rehabilitation.
Okay. Yeah.
And I said, and I did exactly what I said. I said, okay, so what have I done all my life? I said, I was a criminal.
Yep.
I've built cars and I've been in the jury trade. And I've done, helped addicts.
Yep.
I said, so you've stopped me that I'm doing that. I said, so I'll go back to drug smuggling.
Yeah, yeah.
And she said, well, I said, well, you just told me I can't do the other jobs.
You just
what am I going to do?
Shut down 3 bridges.
So I opened the car business. We became the
classics
biggest,
and stuff
Sugarman
like that.
Classics. We became the biggest Corvette restoration company in Australia.
Yeah, fantastic.
All just on C1 and C2 Corvettes, just the old ones, the 54 to 60.
Yep.
62. I don't like 62, but yeah, that era. We specialised in them. We became really
did well.
popular.
Yeah.
We had people from all over the world contact us saying, "Can we send our car to you?"
Yeah, yeah.
I sold one of my cars 2 years ago, my own personal car, for a record. The record in Australia for that particular model car.
Fucking beautiful.
The highest one ever sold.
Corvette's beautiful.
And then the guy I built one for sold his a couple of months later, which was a bigger record than mine. So both the cars I built hold the record for the highest paid cars in Australia for those Corvettes, you know. And Sugarman Classics was going, but I still had Truth About Addiction.
Yep.
And I finished my parole in 2017, and I just went straight back into Truth About Addiction. And
I was going to say round 20? Yeah. 2020 sort of thing around.
We officially opened it, but I was doing it in 2017.
You're the founder, director.
Yeah, I'm founder, director of the Truth About Addiction. And that's, look, if I won Lotto tomorrow, I'd still be doing the Truth About Addiction, but I'd be doing it for nothing.
Yeah, I can see the passion in you, mate. Yeah. And how many thousands of people have you helped? Fucking loads. But there's a real passion there I can see as well. But also from there, author.
Yeah, I wrote a book. That's unbelievable. You know, I wrote the book while I was in prison.
Yep.
The funny part was when I went to prison as a kid, I couldn't read or write. My mum used to send me crossword puzzles. In the old days, I used to get little crossword books.
Yeah.
And then the answers in the back were the answers.
Yep.
So I'd look at the word, then I'd look at the back what the answer was, then I'd work out what that word meant. And that's how I taught myself to read and write.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
And then when I was in jail last time in 2002, I did a writer's course because I was always told I was useless, stupid, and fucking hopeless.
Which is a big mistake. So many people make, you can't read and write, so you're a dumb fucking idiot. That's not the case.
Yeah.
No.
And so what happened was I'd done this writing course, and it sounds really funny. The first time I sent an essay in, I got 97.
Yeah, fine.
I'm like,
it
must be a mistake.
How
can I get 97? I sent the next one, I got 98.
Fucking hell.
Then I got 97, and then I got 98.
Yeah.
And I sent the lady at the TAFE, how come I've never got 100? She said, then you'll stop trying.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It was just such a beautiful thing.
It was a good thing, yeah.
How come I never got 100? She said, because then you'll stop trying.
97, 98. I got 90 once, but I cheated.
Yeah.
But,
so I love writing.
Yeah, good on you.
I don't know why. I'm writing 2 more books now. I'm in the process of writing 2 books now. I've got 3 or 4 other books half written.
And you're a Queensland man now?
I'm a Queensland. I've been there since 93.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
And I have this incredible passion. I'm going to write a book for children.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Fucking hell.
But based for children, but about their mum or dad being a drug addict. about how it affects it, you know.
How did your book go? John Killick, we both know, was a bloody beautiful bloke.
Yeah, Johnny come in and helped me put it together.
Yep.
As like he didn't write the book, he came in and helped put it together.
Yep.
And he added some bits on, and look, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have published it if John hadn't have inspired me so much, because I've had the book written since 2007.
Yeah, wow.
And John was like, mate, you've got, because I said, John, do you want to have a look at my book? Do you want to rewrite it? And he said, I don't want a book, I don't want to. I said, I'll send you a manuscript of what I've written. And he rang me up the next day and said, oh, fuck, yeah. I want to be part of this book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think John's on number 8, or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, you're Rob Banks. So what? Yeah. It was in the past, and he's paid his time. He's actually a fantastic bloke and a regular on our little show.
He's a good human being.
He's a very good bloke, isn't he?
He's a humanitarian. Because I say to everybody, I'm a human being first,
yep.
I'm a mad second, and I was an addict third.
Yep.
Don't just look at the addict.
That's right, yeah.
Part of my addiction was crime. It was harder for me to give up crime than it was to give up heroin.
Yep.
But you got to remember, I was doing crime for a lot more longer than I was doing heroin.
Yeah. And clean since 86.
Yeah, I've been clean since 86. I haven't had a drug. I haven't had a drink since 82. Fucking thirsty. No. No, I haven't had a drink of alcohol since 1982, and I've put a drug in my body since 1986.
Mate, fantastic.
And I'm an incredibly grateful person.
Yep.
For everything I have. I'm grateful to be on your show today.
Yeah,
mate, sincerely.
Pleasure having you. I'm really grateful.
I'm not going to get on and tell you that I'm a tough guy. I'm not going to get on and tell you that I'm a good guy. I'm going to tell you that I was a human being that made some mistakes.
Yep.
And the choices I made were because of the education I had.
Yep. And you've completely changed your life.
Today I've re-educated myself.
Yeah.
And today I'm not committing crime.
Yep.
And I tell you, it's hard. It is hard.
You
know, you hear people who are alcoholics or drug addicts talk about, some days I get this compulsion or this urge, I want to have a drink or a drug.
Yep. It's always there. It can come back, yeah.
The trouble is, I know that I can go and make money.
Yep.
But I'm not prepared to prostitute my ethics.
That's right.
My integrity.
And coming this far.
Yeah. Nobody else knows if I commit a crime. I do.
Yep.
So I can commit a crime and get away with it, but I might get caught, but I might not.
Yeah.
The odds are that I used to get away with a lot more than I got pinched for.
Yep.
So, if you really want to be calculating and you go, the odds are that, I'll get away with it.
Yeah.
But I won't, because today I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you know who you are.
It's not what you know anymore, it's what I know. It's, I don't have to impress anybody. I have to impress me.
Yep.
The only person I'm in competition is with me.
Yeah, right.
I don't have to have the best car.
Yep.
I don't have to have the best watch. I don't have to have the best... And I've got all the stuff.
Yeah.
Materially. But that's not the stuff that brings me joy.
Yeah.
Watching my little girl say, Daddy, watch this. Or my little... my daughter was dancing with me last night. You put the lime in the coconut, you shake it, you drink it all up.
How old is she?
She's 4.
Oh, wow.
She dances with me all the time. She always wants to dance with me. She's a dancer. She's in acrobatics and in dance classes and that.
Oh, fantastic.
And she always gets... I dance rock and roll with her.
Yeah.
And I spin her around and she does the same feet and I turn her and I twist her and she's a 4-year-old rock and roller.
Jesus,
that's joy.
Yeah.
My boy playing soccer and he kicked the goal. That's the joy.
That's
gangster. You know what a gangster is? Somebody puts food on the table for their wife and kids.
Yep.
Whose wife and kids are not afraid of them. Whose wife and kids can rely upon them, depend upon them and trust them. Yep. That's gangster.
Yeah, right.
Not fucking shooting somebody. Mate, you know how hard it is to shoot somebody? Point your finger.
Easy.
Go like that.
Yeah. That's right.
Fucking, well, that was fucking tough.
Fucking hell.
Come on, mate. That's all shit and dribble.
Yep.
That's all shit and dribble. Struggling, getting up early in the morning. I get up at 6 o'clock every morning and go and get an ice bath.
Yeah. Wow. You do the ice bath.
Yeah,
I heard it's really healthy.
Really
very beneficial, they do it a lot in the States and that too. So,
I have a...
Fucking hell, I don't know if I can do it, mate.
Big freeze, minus 12 degrees, and I go and get it every morning. And it's horrible. Some mornings I don't want to get it, but I have to do it. Because that's my discipline. That starts my day.
Self-discipline. Yeah.
Then I get up and then I read some literature, positive stuff about my life.
Yep.
What I believe in.
Yep.
I'm a member of a 12-step fellowship, and I have been for a long time.
How many counsellors you had with the Truth About Addiction? You've trained a lot of people, counsellors, I should say.
I counsel counsellors.
Yeah. And that's been going for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been looking after people since 1986.
Yeah, wow.
I've always looked after people. It's my nature.
And no, I'm not going to ask how many tattoos you got. You've just basically got a body. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
one. It's 520 hours.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, one tattoo.
When did that start? How many years? I've got about 4 old tattoos. That's about
you had 4 old ones.
Yeah.
And in 1988.
Yep. You started going hardcore.
After that. I did it in 5 years. I did the whole bodysuit in 5 years. So
Australia and overseas?
Yeah, most of them in America. Most of them overseas.
I had a couple in Hawaii. And
America. Hawaii, I got to
Hawaii. And the rest with
Switzerland.
Illustrated Man. And the old place up the cross on William Street.
Illustrated Man is a mate of mine, Tony Cohen.
Yeah, Tony Cohen.
He did all my ribs on that side.
He's retired now?
He's retired.
Yeah, I did one there with a shark and fuck it hurt. I was trying to act like a big toughie. And, oh no, it's fine. I'm biting my lip.
I got the whole rib done in one sitting.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's excruciating. Yeah,
it was horrible.
And they're saying, you're okay, aren't you? Going, oh yeah, I'm fucking fine. And
anyone that says tattoos don't hurt, so they're a liar.
Absolutely. It's like a fucking bread knife going through me for about 90 minutes.
I've never had one that doesn't hurt. I've never had one, you know. Or maybe I'm just a wuss, I don't know.
No, you're not a wuss, mate. Mate, we're gonna have to wrap this up. No. I would love to keep talking to you because
pleasure, mate.
We'll wrap this up. It's been fantastic talking to you today.
Thank you very much for having me on, guys. Appreciate your time.
Oh, mate, we're so grateful. Swingers is a very interesting man, and it was episode 39. Mr. Ronnie Isherwood, we're so grateful, mate. Thank you very much. We got him straight off the plane, the poor bloke as well, and you've done this with just one coffee. So
no, appreciate it.
We're most grateful, mate, and we wish you all the best. And you've done a hell of a lot for people, and you should be bloody proud of yourself. It turned your whole life around, and you had it tough. And all the best to you and your family, mate.
Thank you, mate.
So thank you.
My pleasure.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. Thank you, Swingers. Episode 39. And we'll see you all soon. We really enjoyed talking to Ron today, and bloody inspiring story. So, and we'll see you all soon. We've got plenty more to come. We've got another surprise coming up very soon. Thanks again, Ron.
Thanks,
You're
mate.
a bloody good man. Thank you. See you soon, Swingers. Bye.